He said 6 o'clock.
I know.
We knew what you meant.
All week. I'll blame aluminium soil. That's the problem.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the annual meeting of Harrietsham Parish Council. As we need to elect a chair and a vice chair this evening, what I would ask that we do is complete the first 3 items on the agenda, so we actually elect the chairman, and then we adjourn the meeting to allow for 15 minutes public discussion and the report from Martin, and then carry on with the agenda if everyone's happy with that. Okay. Apologies for absence received this morning. Councillor Allardyce is with us, so no apologies there. Kent County Councillor Prendergast, also Councillors Tom and Janetta Sams. They were hoping to be here, but unfortunately can't. So if we go on to the election of chairman, would anyone like to propose someone?
Maybe that.
Okay. Would someone second that?
Second.
Are you happy with that? Is everyone in favour with that? Okay, and for a vice chair, have we got any recommendations?
Glenda. Sorry.
Thanks, Eddie.
Get me on there.
So that was Eddie Powell. Does someone want to second that? And you're all in favour? Okay. Can you just quickly fill that in, please?
Good evening all. Thank you very much for reselecting me as the chairman. I shall say that with gritted teeth. Yes. Yeah, Martin.
Chairman, we've had a number of scams, and I always think it's useful to give an idea of what sort of scams we've had. 2 recent ones have actually used latest news stories. So we've had one seeking donations for the Manchester bomb victims, which is a scam, and another one which is offering technical support for the WannaCry ransom incident which affected the NHS across the country. We've also had a WhatsApp message sending a message for somebody to listen to, obviously don't. There's another one which is an American voice talking about a lawsuit. Please ring a telephone number. Again, don't. And recently in Lenham we've had 2 email scams. One purporting to be from the Inland Revenue and the other one purporting to be from TV licensing. In both cases the people smelled a rat and double checked with the 2 organisations respectively. And when they went onto the website, the emails were using identical logos in the scam emails to what's on the website. And it was just purely by luck that they smelled a rat, but they weren't caught out. We've had, in the east of the county, we've had a number of cold calls, people posing as trading standards officers. So if you're able to, if you have a call like that and you're able to, look up the trading standards number and double check, or if somebody hasn't got access to the internet then they can ring me and I'll make inquiries for them. We've had 2 fly tippings in the village in the last couple of weeks, one at Willow Close on the A20 which I've reported, and the other one is up by Percy the Pilgrim on the Pilgrim's Way, which I will be able to report in the morning. Finally, we've had an incident where a bench was broken on the bleed field. There is some information available. The police have got some, and I've done a house to house this evening and got a little bit more, which I'll be talking to Dave about. But I can't say any more than that at the moment on that one. And that's it from me, and unless there's any questions.
Don't suppose there's any advancement on getting that silver car moved? I notice it's been pushed back.
No, I have reported it
I
twice
know you
now.
have.
I'll ring again in the morning and see if there's been any developments. What's happened in the past, not particularly with that one, but what's happened with other vehicles, is that because it's not been reported lost or stolen, and it's not subject of a crime or a road traffic crash, then the police obviously aren't interested. And when you speak to Maidstone Borough Council, they won't recover it unless it presents a risk to the environment, which obviously it doesn't because it's intact. So we're in a bit of a between a rock and a hard place with that one.
I think because it's in the gates for the CTRL, I think the guys, when they did their whatever they do there, they pushed it right back into the corner so they could get their truck on there.
Yeah.
So presumably the handbrake's off. Else they wouldn't, unless they.
Well,
I didn't see
depends how
anything
big
of
the
it.
truck was.
Well, yeah, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
But that's where we're at. But I'll ring again tomorrow
Thank you.
and see if there's been any developments with it.
Thank you.
If it's not taxed, can't it be removed in that way?
No, I had one at Lenham Heath about 4 months ago, and it was stormed and it had no MOT,
Yeah.
and the police found out that it didn't have insurance either, but because the new owner hadn't notified acquisition, there was nobody to pursue,
Yeah.
and until the windows were smashed, Maidstone Borough Council wouldn't remove it. But eventually they were smashed and it was removed. Not that I'm advocating that.
Of course not.
But I'll phone the police again to see if there's been an update on it.
Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, thanks. The only thing I'll say, Martin, is that all these scams, I mean, that seems to be causing quite a few problems. I mean, you've mentioned as many tonight as what I've heard in total since I've been certainly sitting in this chair. Has anybody been caught out at all? Because it is quite worrying because they're going to get the vulnerable people.
The problem with email scams is that they use the what they call it, the Tor or the dark web, and they hide from, they jump from server to server, and it's difficult to trace them. If you remember a little while ago, there was a paedophile investigation where children were groomed, and it turned out that there were 2 lots of paedophiles. One lot was in Saudi Arabia, and the other lot was somewhere up north in this country, but they both hooked on to the same teenager, and then they were trying to groom each other as well. But it took them months to actually get that information. I mean, they got there in the end. I'm not saying it's impossible, but
I suppose the only thing we can do is make people aware, isn't it?
I wasn't going to mention this because it's a slightly older incident. Down at Tunbridge Wells, they've arrested 2 people, and they're calling it the squirrel scam, where they go to the house, say, "Oh, we'll check the roof to see if it needs any work," and then one of the guys produces a red squirrel, a dead squirrel, to say that they've got a squirrel infestation and offer to rectify the situation for cash. And they've arrested 2 people over that one down at Tunbridge Wells, but that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So it's not, you know, they are caught in the end. It's just that sometimes it's a bit frustrating when it takes a while.
Anyway, thank you.
Okay. Right, I'm going to go and check up on the pilgrim.
Thank you.
Oh, right, okay. Squirrels, I think.
Thanks, bye.
Okay, is there any comments at all from the public? We've got delivery of these tonight.
Yep. Is there any news yet on the speed reduction in Harrietsham? Because I know within about a month, Crest Nichols are going to start doing the actual path down the village. I've been told by Crest Nichols and Highways that they're starting within a...
If you pick up a set of the draft minutes
Yeah.
that are up there, there's the full statement that was made by Maidstone Borough Council that relates.
Yeah.
I've deliberately put the whole section in there so you can
Because
read it.
actually, sort of when I get up in the morning about 5 o'clock and lay in bed, the actual bungalow rattles when the Lenham storage lorries come through the village in the morning. I don't know if it's since Crest Nichols have built opposite and it's sort of vibrating back further now, but It is getting really bad now, the speed through there.
Yeah, I did ask the question again last Thursday evening as well at Maidstone Planning, and we were assured by the Kent County Council kind of highways chap that sits on the committee that they were looking at doing things fairly soon, but wouldn't commit himself to a time, which is not unusual for KCC. But one of the things that we have been guaranteed is that the work will be done. And we had is it Mr. Roots was sitting there as well, because he was quite concerned about what was going to happen when the development at Mayfield Nursery was going to start. So I did see him nodding when I was asking the question.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. We're in their hands. It's KCC, but it's a question that seems to a lot of people seem to be asking. You know.
Yeah, it does get bad.
Oh, it must be, well, annoying is an understatement.
Mr. Chairman, we did have, some years ago now, an active speedwatch group in the village, which I was part of when I wasn't a parish councillor. And apart from someone rolling down their window and screaming vigilante at me while I had my little thing on it, I mean, maybe there's an argument that to keep them focused, that we try to re-establish that and get members of the community as well to try and send some records. I know we've got no power, but what we can do is gather statistical information. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
No.
I can't remember that one.
I spoke to the Sams long before I was a councillor, and wondering why there weren't any more speed watches being done, and I seem to remember it was a question of insurance, where to keep the kit.
The kit's in Lenham, last I heard, because we were sharing the equipment with them. So I think what happened was that the few of us that were doing it for various reasons peeled off, and we didn't have the core, because you do have to have the training before you can do it.
Of course.
It's all gone online now.
So maybe there's an argument.
Well, I think it's certainly something to raise with Janetta, because she seems to be a highways person, and see whether we can perhaps resurrect that.
Perhaps if we put something in network, we could
Get
get some members of the community to join in as well.
Yeah.
Because I know it's all changed.
Does it have to
Because I've
be
been
parish
working.
council?
No. You need at least 6 volunteers.
Right.
But I know all the training. The coordinator has to pass an online exam, and depending on how long ago our speedwatch was done, it might be that they say that they've got to redo. It was a refresher. But yeah, I mean,
It's certainly worth exploring.
I've got the contact details of the person who's now taking it over at Kent Police, so I can pass that on.
I think the police would be delighted.
Well, I would certainly be willing to get involved again.
And that could put pressure on KCC as well.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If we can come back to them with some hard facts about, because I'm affected as well. I only live down the road from you. So I feel your pain. Because actually what happens to us is it switches the outside light on.
Yeah.
And if you're not awake, you are there.
Yes.
So I'm happy to proceed.
Okay, well let's if you can speak to Janetta, and then we'll set the ball rolling. And
one last thing, Mr. Chairman, about I think you're talking about a reduction down to 30 miles an hour.
Anything to stop.
Yeah.
I know. Even the 30,
as I
I think that's
understand
stopped.
go from 70 down to
I think we
30.
need a speed camera through there.
Yeah, as I understand it, changes in main road speed limits require a statutory instrument, which is a parliamentary thing. So, good luck with that.
No, because it's part of the whole remodelling of the A20.
That's right.
That is part of the scheme.
It's been
It's
agreed.
already been agreed.
It's also
There is already a statutory instrument.
It's
It's
all
all
been
agreed.
it's all been
well,
going
it's
just-
through, yeah.
I think
It's all to do with the funding. Isn't it?
I think probably what they're waiting for is the money from
Yeah.
Mayfield Nursery, the Section 106 money, which they can put towards doing the various things.
Allow me, Mr. Chairman, coming from another perspective, and that is, the designers of these buildings that have been put up. I mean, the speed limit as it is at the moment is 40. And I do accept what our learned friend says. You blow, rocks about and so on. But, at 40 miles an hour, it's going to cause waves,
Yeah.
for want of a better expression. And why was this not taken into account by the designers? I mean, the houses are so close to the A20, shoehorning them in.
Yeah.
It's what's caused the problem, and yet.
Yeah. Well, the question that was raised, and that was going back 2 years ago, and I actually raised it at the council before they started the CTRL site, was why can't you put the changes in before the building works?
Precisely, yeah.
But they won't do that because of the Section 106 monies, because they can't start collecting money until the houses start to be sold, and it adds years onto it. But they wouldn't do it, and it was actually taken to the Joint Transportation Committee as well. And I think Janetta actually presented a petition at that, because I was on the committee then as well, to actually ask if that work could be done. But we can shout, scream, yell, and do whatever, but common sense doesn't prevail.
No.
At least if we start Speedwatch up again, we can keep them focused by keep feeding them
Well,
information.
that's what we can do.
Just get on their case all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay, is there any more questions?
The hedge down the side of Chippendale Drive is very overgrown, and some parts of it are growing over the path.
Is this the
although
one that
path
fronts
is wide,
onto it?
from my house down towards the shop.
Don't know where you
Yeah,
live,
yeah.
sorry.
Chippendale
From,
Drive.
from Chippendale Drive entrance
Yeah,
down towards the shop
on the A20.
on the A20. Yeah. The path is very wide, but the branches are overgrown. But they are now obscuring the sign for the height limit for the lorries under the bridge.
Almost.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a KCC, isn't it?
It's not, because
Yeah.
that's privately owned, because they've been on the hedge cutting scheme before. Yeah.
Right, what about
So-
the sign?
Yeah, but it would be down to them to cut it
Right.
from around the, because if highways do it, they'll charge them.
Right, okay.
So it's the height sign it's obscuring.
Yes.
Okay.
Might I add to that, please,
Mhm.
Mr Chairman? And that is the 30 mile an hour sign adjacent to the church is obscured by a lot of foliage, and the speed of the cars going up Murray Road is ridiculous.
Mm.
It's that time of year, isn't it, when the trees
Yeah.
have sprung into life.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any more? This one.
Amanda, I've got to walk back that way, so if you like, I'll take a photograph on my phone and pop it on an email for the one down by Aldridge,
Yeah.
so that you can
And
include
don't report that.
No, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know you have to do that. But if I send you a picture,
Yeah.
that will reinforce your report.
Yeah, because I can put that on.
One quick one. With this, with co-opting tonight, how many of the actual original councillors do we still need on, or could we be in a situation where we've got, say, Glenda wasn't on, and the two Samses wasn't on the parish council? Can co-opted members keep co-opting members on? Like
Yeah,
never-ending chain.
As long as we've got 11 councillors, well, up to 11 councillors, the minimum we can have is 4.
Yeah, so none of the original. I mean, you could have a parish council here at the moment then, with sort of none of them elected,
Yeah.
still voting people on. Yeah, as long as I know.
Yeah, that's not unusual with parish councillors, because they're normally people are crying out for parish councillors in some areas.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
know that from talking to others. It's. Is there any other questions at all? No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, decision to discuss agenda item number 20, be taken under a closed session. Are you on there? Do all councillors agree that item number
21, sorry.
21 on the agenda should be dealt with in a closed session at the end of this evening's meeting? Another proposal for that, please? Matt, do you have a seconder? Jacqueline, all those in favour? Okay.
Should
Right, item number 5 on the agenda, which is the minutes of the last meeting. Has everybody read the meeting minutes? Does everybody agree with the minutes?
Yes.
In that case, can I have a proposer, please? And Max seconded. And all those in favour? Bear with me for about 3 minutes. Right, item number 6, declaration of interests. Are there any changes to the register of interests? No? Any declarations of pecuniary interest? No? Any requests for dispensation? No? Short and sweet. Right, we now move on to the co-option of a new councillor. Could I actually ask the members of the public to leave the meeting while the co-option takes place, please? Thank you.
Are you going to turn the recording off?
Okay.